Hey guys, it's Brooke from The Vintage Gardener. Welcome back to my channel. So today is not Saturday. It is the Tuesday after Labor Day. And so I know I usually post on Saturday, but there's a reason you guys are getting a little bit of bonus this week. So as you guys know, because I've mentioned it more than one time recently, I sold my house. I'm purchasing something new. It's a bigger house. It has an acre of land. I decided to start with an acre of land because finding farmland with a house was very difficult, and as mentioned, very expensive. And so I was like, well, you know what? I'll start with a house and an acre of land, and then later on down the road, I can get farmland once I get big enough to warrant it. So this house, I'm starting at like, if this was the Hunger Games, if you read that book that talked about like beauty base zero, well, this is beauty base zero. So the house is Victorian. It is 179 years old. So it needs a lot of work inside as well as outside. So I'll be documenting the entire process. So especially during the winter months, because you really can't garden, I'll be doing inside projects. I hope you guys don't mind, and I hope I don't lose you guys because I'm not doing gardening. But I think it'll be kind of fun because it's old Victorian. Who doesn't like that? But before we go into it, I just want y'all to check out my t-shirt. I got this from Sunfrog, and I'll tag them in the picture or in the video. But I love this t-shirt. I saw this slogan, I guess a couple of years ago when I started posting photos on my personal Instagram page, which I'm not going to tell you about because I'd like to leave that for private stuff. Well, it's not really private, but just, other stuff. So I could not figure out what the shirt was talking about. I'm like, what do you mean I like gardening from my head to tomatoes? This is really silly. I'm not gonna lie, it took me like a year or more to finally figure out what it meant. I actually had to Google it, I'll be quite honest. But just in case any of you guys are kind of like slow on the uptake, sometimes like me, it is, I love gardening from my head and it's to my toes. So that's what it means. That's why I like it. It's kind of cool. A lot of people in my job got it right away, but a couple people were just kind of like, what? So it's okay. But anyway, so this Saturday, I'm supposed to be scheduling the inspection of the house that I'm buying. So for purpose of it, we'll just call it the Victorian, so I don't have to talk about my house, the other house, that sort of thing. So the Victorian. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go get one of those measuring wheels from Lowe's. It's a little device, it's got a wheel on it, and it has a counter for like inches and feet. And so you run it, just walk it across the ground, and it'll tell you the distance without you having to pull up tape measures. And I don't know why I didn't get one before. I mean, it's wonderful. And I can tell that's going to be my best friend when it comes to this planning thing, because girlfriend right here, spatially challenged. It's bad. I can't spot I can't make it, 2 feet, 5 feet, yeah, yeah, I can't do it. I need my yardstick and everything. So this is a Victorian house, so it's kind of for in America anyway, and especially in this region of the US, Victorians are kind of like one of, I would guess you would say, like 5 like classic styles. So it's really nice because there's a lot of versatility in terms of the gardening. And I'm bringing this up because I know one of the things that a lot of people have asked me is, where do I start with gardening? And the first thing I like to start with is, what type of house do you have? Because you kind of want your garden in the house to match. Because like, for example, a contemporary house, like doing a formal like boxwood hedge English garden is just gonna look a little weird with that, gotta be honest with you. Or like doing like a Versailles type garden, it's gonna look kind of weird. And for example, doing, I don't know, like a bonsai garden, like it's just, anyway, your house and your garden, in my opinion, should match. Like there should be an extension, that sort of thing. But like I said, because I have a Victorian, that is one of like, I think it's like 5, like I would say classic styles in American architecture. And so you can go formal, you can go really cottagey. There's a lot of versatility, there's a lot you can do. Well, I'm just not going to limit myself to one style, okay? Because I just don't do that. And not to mention, it's not going to help you guys if I only do one style because maybe you don't like the style I'm going to do. So I'm going to be doing a few different styles, but the first thing I'm starting with is the front yard because the front yard at this house is just, it's a yard. Like there's like no landscaping, like no nothing. Like there's some shrubs. It screams, please landscape me. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get the little measuring wheelie thing and measure just the front of the dimensions of like this. Hang on for a second. Hey, Andrea? Yeah. I'm recording a YouTube video. Can I call you back? Yeah. Okay, thanks. And by the way, you're making it on this video. I'm just letting you know. Oh, hi, everyone. Okay. Okay, bye. Oh yeah, that's my cousin Andrea. She doesn't mind being on here. So I want to measure basically the width of the front of the house. I know the house that I'm in right now is 35 feet. That one's going to be bigger. I think maybe 50 feet. But like I said, I'm spatially challenged and maybe bigger. You know, maybe it's only 45. I don't know. And so once I get the measurement, because what I would like to do is a square. So directly in front of the house, I want to do a more formal style garden. It's going to be kind of reminiscent of like one of those maze gardens you see in Europe. So when I'm planning a garden, now that we kind of got the type of section of garden that section is going to be, I draft things out. I use graph paper because like I said, I'm spatially challenged. So let me show you what I typically use. So I use this. It's called Graphit. It's a Quilt Designer's graph paper. I don't quilt, but they had it in Joann Fabric. And the reason I got it is because a lot of times the graph paper that I've seen was like 9 by 11. It's like regular notebook size. And I was like taping pieces together. So this is nice. And I don't know if I'm going to hold it up to the camera so hopefully you guys can see it a little clearer. But okay, so there we go. You can see the lines. So it's 48 by 48. And so the way I do it is I typically do one box as a square foot. That's typically how I do it. Now, sometimes I can change the scale on it. I try not to do that because I'll be quite honest, when I start changing the scale, like when I'm drafting stuff, messes happen because I think, oh, that looks nice, and it really doesn't. Like, for example, I'll show you, this is a garden design that I did, and this one, oh, can you see it? Okay. This, the scale on this is, each box is 2 feet, and this is a labyrinth garden. And I'm not gonna be this, like I said, so since the scale is each box is 2 feet, this was 100 by 100 section, which I can't do. It's not gonna work with this garden space. So I'm hoping to get 50 by 50. Now, when it comes to gardening, like I do like to have something big that'll take into consideration the entire property. And so I use something like, when I use something like this, it is an easel pad bought from Staples. As you can see, it's got grids on it. One grid is 1 inch. So if you look at that other graph paper, you could fit like 4 in here. So that's what I'm going to do for the larger sections because it just helps me out. So those are the 2 things I do. I do everything on graph paper. So the quilting pad is better for smaller segments because I do have a ruler, which I'll show you guys later. It was from the Martha Stewart gardening. It was like she had this gardening notebook thing, and it has like shrub shapes and everything. Because like I said, I need to be exact because I'm horrible with distances and putting plants in. I frequently run into the issue where I think I have more space than what I do, or just like in my mind it looks a certain way, and then when I put it in, then I'm like, oh wow, this only took this section, and I have like all of this other stuff to go, and what am I supposed to do now? So that's it. So I'll get back to you after Saturday, after taking measurements. Maybe I'll take some video footage from there, and then I'll show you how I start my garden. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.